All right, since I'm feeling there, I'm gonna try to guess go to part two of betrayal or whatever. You know, the best friend, supposed best friend that is, um, the supposed best friend. Um, so he was moving his phone around, and I saw this cartoon character that looked like a dude off of the Fantastic Four, that one who vanishes into smoke. Um, I forget what his name is. But yeah, I saw him. It looked like him, and it was a full out cartoon in real life. So I thought that was weird, but that was nothing more than, I'm sure, um, the demoniac demon that had freaking began to take him over. He was prancing around furious. So why do you get all the money? And I noticed that his eyes were red, the pupil only. Like my pupil, his was red, and he was talking in a weird voice. At any rate, he said he was gonna have to find somebody else to kill me. Vocalized it. And at that point, I was like, what? Before that, he had created this like room try to expose me in front of all of my friends. And the light is not lying. Trying to expose me in front of all my friends, and that was where how the betrayal began. You see, because he had joined this dark coven where, like I would call him, he'd be like, "Oh, I'm just laying around with all these chicks, dee 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 dee." And I was like, "Oh, Nick," I was like, "Buddy, buddy," and he wouldn't listen to me, and so I guess he tried to swallow my destiny, and have been doing witchcraft ever since. Um, at one point, he had came to visit me when I lived in Seattle, but he was being weirdo McPherson, and so I would head off to work, and he would be at my house. I lived in shared housing, but he was out there in the backyard doing some kind of crazy stuff, talking about he was making a kabuki theater. And but anyways, my roommates were like weirded out by him, and I had to tell him to leave, and he got real pissed and like left. And so, oh, actually, we had to call the cops to make him leave. And so I don't know if that's what started all the anger or what, but um, that is about when I, well, no, because I had left Seattle. This was years after, but I mean, yeah, we got back in touch and and I guess ever since then he's like plotted my downfall or whatever. And so it's just crazy because we were pretty good friends. We were duet acting partners in high school for the forensics tournaments. We'd go to theater. We'd go to speech tournaments, and I did prose and terp, poetry and terp, and we did duet acting and duet improv. And like, we grew apart, I guess, especially after he got to dealing in my astrology chart. I'm like, who would do that? Who would go as far as to looking at somebody's astrology chart and then gonna get mad and gonna try to swap destinies with people? I don't know, but that is what happened, and that is the truth of the matter. Immediately, like, as soon as he did that, I took it to God. I took it to God. I prayed to God, and I did not do a thing after that. I think I gazed into one white candle, um, uh, and just put, how I felt into the candle, whatever, whatever, whatever. Uh, I think I did that, but other than that, I left it up to God, and God has taken care of me ever since, and you can please believe that. But it was because I put my trust in Him and Him alone, and that's what I encourage everybody to do, especially if you're going through witchcraft. Don't fight back with witchcraft, is what I say. I say you go before the Most High and tell Him what you got going on, and He'll take care of it as only He can, as only He can. Yeah. So that was that part. Um, So I was living in at that time. I was living in apartment 123. Mm. Stomach starting hurting again. I was living in apartment 123. Um, and I ended up moving and whatnot. And I got this neighbor in front of me who was in love with me or something. I don't know. That's what one of the other neighbors told me. And because they had become friends too. But she was wicked. She was wicked. She called the cops and lied on me. Tried to get me kicked out. I knew there was something up with her because the landlord had came out right before right after she got there. And she was like, "Oh, how am I?" And she was like, hesitated for a minute. And she was like, "Oh, like." I was like, "Cause you wanted to say something different." She wanted to lie on me. She wanted to lie on me then, but couldn't because I ain't did nothing. You know what I mean? And just from then on out, she was just weirdo McPherson. Called the cops and said I had hit her and all kind of stuff like that. Trying to get me kicked out, trying to get this whole neighborhood calling up to the landlord, tell him I'll be walking down the street cussing them out and stuff. That ain't me. That is not me. I try to bring love, you know what I'm saying? So it's been crazy dealing with these diabolicals that are getting led by the enemy. You know what I mean? So that is real. That mess right there is real too. So you gotta know that and be prepared for that and keep in prayer. Keep in prayer, especially if you are one of the chosen ones, because he gonna do everything he can to throw you off kilter. Everything. You know what I'm saying? But my advice is to keep your faith strong, keep scripture read, keep your faith strong, and move forward, knowing that God got you. That God got you. It ain't nothing nobody can do to stop what He has coming for you. Know that.